That shiesty on don't make you gangster. These boys that come and take your whole life. Alright, your dreams around turn into a nightmare. And you know how it's gonna turn out, we don't fight fair.
We're jumping into a really big one today, a massive subject.
Yeah.
We're looking at the
Stack of sources here, urban planning docs, oral histories.
The mission is really to unpack how something designed to help to uplift became this global symbol of urban failure.
It was a city within a city. 28 buildings, all 16 stories high, stretching for 2 miles.
2 miles.
Yeah.
And right from the jump, you get this incredible irony with the name.
It's named for Robert Rochon Taylor. He was the first African-American chairman of the Chicago Housing Authority.
Which on the surface sounds like, a great tribute.
Until you find out he resigned in protest against this kind of project.
He did.
Yeah, he's a huge advocate for scattered site housing, for integration. The city basically ignored him, built this massive segregated block, and then slapped his name on it.
Wow, that really sets the tone for everything that follows.
It does.
The design itself was based on that Le Corbusier idea, right? Towers in the park.
On paper, yes, but in reality, it was just towers. The park part got stripped out in cost-cutting.
And the placement was very deliberate.
Oh, completely. The buildings ran right alongside the Dan Ryan Expressway. It formed what people started calling the concrete curtain.
A concrete curtain, you can just picture it.
Exactly. It was there to shield drivers, mostly suburban commuters, from having to see the poverty. Containment disguised as renewal.
And the cost-cutting meant the buildings themselves started to fail almost immediately.
Immediately. The elevators are the most, I think, horrifying example.
You have 27,000 people in 16-story buildings.
And the elevators are just perpetually broken. They were death traps. There are these awful accounts of children falling down shafts.
And firefighters couldn't even reach fires on the upper floors.
Right. And then they added chain link fencing to the open-air balconies.
Which turned them into what one person called prisons for the poor.
It's the perfect description. So you've got physical isolation outside and total infrastructure collapse inside.
Then you add the economic vacuum. At its worst, unemployment hit 95%.
95. It's a number that's hard to even process.
And into that vacuum comes the drug trade.
It became the entire economy. We're talking estimates of like $45,000 a day.
And with that money came the super gangs.
Yeah, the Mickey Cobras, the Gangster Disciples. They didn't just operate there, they militarized the buildings. They were vertical fortresses.
The level of violence is staggering. I read one report of 300 shootings in a single weekend.
It was a war zone. But there's one detail from the oral histories that, for me, just defines it all. The bathtub bunkers.
That's the one.
The walls were so thin, just cinder block, that bullets would fly right through apartments during crossfire.
So parents put their kids to sleep in cast iron bathtubs.
Because it was the only thing in the apartment that might stop a bullet.
It's just terrifying to imagine. But it also wasn't only misery.
No, and that's so important. The resilience was incredible. You had residents running these informal meal programs called Chokes for Kids.
And it produced some amazing people. Mr. T, Kirby Puckett, Governor Deval Patrick. They all came out of Robert Taylor.
But in the end, the experiment failed. In 1995, the federal government took over.
And they rolled out the plan for transformation.
Which is really just a bureaucratic way of saying demolition.
They tore it all down. But they made a promise, right? The right to return.
They did. They promised residents they could come back to new mixed-income housing.
But there was a catch.
A huge catch. A lot of fine print. To come back, you had to pass drug tests, have a job, no criminal record.
For a population coming from 95% unemployment and a drug-fueled economy.
It was an impossible bar. Around 90% of the families were deemed non-compliant.
So almost no one got to come back.
Less than 20%. The community was just scattered.
And what's there now? On that 2-mile stretch.
Mostly empty fields. A ghost town.
It really just proves you can't architect your way out of social inequality.
Not by building towers and not by knocking them down either.
So here's a final thought for you to chew on. The city's goal was to break up concentrated poverty. But if the plan for transformation destroyed all the community support networks without giving people a real way back, Did it actually solve the problem?
Or did it just succeed in making the poverty invisible again?
That's the question. Thanks for deep diving with us.
We'll see you next time.
Sworn to uphold the law may have been breaking it today. The police in question were searching for weapons without search warrants in one of America's most dangerous public housing projects, the Robert Taylor homes. Fox News has been reporting this story all week, and tonight Sean Daly shows us what the potentially illegal searches have produced.
The police were back at it for a third straight day, raiding apartments at the Robert Taylor homes, searching for illegal weapons and finding plenty of them. This is their catch, 14 dangerous weapons.
But it'll go straight through the front, through you, and out the back.
What legitimate purpose is there for that?
That's a legitimate hunting purpose for large game.
Security is tight today at Robert Taylor homes as contractors who were trying to install window bars to keep children from falling out or going back to work. They'd been fired on by snipers, and now the CHA is taking heat for the way it responded to those attacks. The problem is the security sweep conducted by the CHA yesterday was illegal. As Channel 5's Emmett Miller reports, the officers did not have a search warrant.
Today at the Robert Taylor homes, general maintenance sweeps. A small army of policemen just outside the door. Yesterday at Robert Taylor, a sweep of a different sort.
Yesterday, I know they recovered, the CHA recovered a rifle and quite a lot of narcotics paraphernalia, including, rock cocaine and marijuana and scales and bullets.
Like I said, just driving past there on State, when you're going north on State, once you get past 54th Street, that's all you seen was them big-ass buildings. Looking like, damn, Mom, I'm glad we don't live in there. I promise you, I used to say that like, man, I'm glad we don't live in there. Project kids is the worst. It's bad kids everywhere though, man. But them Robert Taylor homes, man. Rest easy, Robert Taylor homes. A lot of people, hundreds of thousands of people. When they knocked them buildings down, they created a drill movement, a drill era. It was crazy. It's just all the dread heads came out of nowhere. Everybody got dreads. Everybody standing everywhere. Everybody looking at everybody. It was very tense. It was getting very ugly. And then it happened. A war. Beep TV 1. I'm out.
We talking about combinating and consolidating. That's what up.
You're not thinking of taking over the Carter.
Yeah, we taking over the Carter.
And this is gonna do it. And make us rich.
That shiesty on don't make you gangster. These boys that come and take your whole life. Alright, your dreams fuck around turn into a nightmare. And you know how it's gonna turn out, we don't fight fair.